Welcome to the show, Beyond the Box, our very first Spotlight series with CEO, co-founder, Grant Findlay-Shirras. I'm sure I said that wrong. Welcome to the show, and thanks for coming on.
You said it correctly.
Oh, there we go. That's a good start. That's a fantastic start. So, let's dive right in. Let's get to it. So, for those people that don't know who you are and what ParkBench is, what do you guys do?
So, one of the ways that we are really talking about it these days is we look at the benefits that our clients are getting, and their sales are going up. And it's so much of a platform with so much cool stuff under the hood for real estate agents to use to enable sales. So that's one of the things that we've been really thinking about is ParkBench is a sales enablement platform. And the specific type of realtor that we specialize in is the relationship-based realtor who wants to build their brand and build their business in a specific geographic area. So some realtors, they're advertising-based and transactional-based, and they just want to pump up tons of numbers, and they don't even focus in a specific area. They work all over the city, or they focus on luxury homes or pre-constructions. But for the realtors who are almost like the Puritan, the pure realtor, the one who loves to get to know the people who live and work in their area, loves to give value to them and build their brand as a leader of the community, someone who cares about the community, and as a result of that, builds their database with that reputation to build their business. We have a platform and a whole bunch of systems and scripts to help realtors go do that.
That's amazing. And, I think I've spoken to more than enough realtors to know that that message resonates really, really well, especially on the relationship and the referral side. So super excited. And, you guys have been around for a while too, right? You're not just this new company. How long have you guys been around?
So the original story was Amanda and I came up with this concept for our business back in 2012. And we did it for ourselves in 2013. And then realtors came to us saying, hey, I like your platform. I like the way you're building your brand and business. You're doing it in this neighborhood in Toronto is where it was based. Can you help me do it in this other area? I'm not competing with you. And so that's how the whole business started. And that was 2014. So 6 years later, 4 countries, thousands of realtors, we've really nailed like one of the things I heard recently, which I really love, was people give a lot of lip service to relationships. Everyone in real estate, it's a people business, it's a relationship business. And I say, yeah, you're right. How much money and time are you spending? Because that's the metric that shows whether you're giving it lip service or you're actually doing it. How much time and money are you spending to build new relationships and to add value to the people in your database? Or are you just advertising? So we've been on this mission to help realtors actually do something to not just say they're all about people and relationships, but really walk the walk.
Well, clearly it's resonating because you're in Canada, you're in the US, you're in Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So, yep. I mean, clearly this message is resonating, and obviously you've got this long track record. You've been around for years now. So, I think what's most timely for people right now is I would love to know sort of how the last 12 months have been. Obviously, COVID's changed things, but less about it on the business side, more of how you've seen sort of the market react and maybe even conversations you've been having with realtors and what they're doing to adapt over the last 12 months and what you're doing to adapt over the last 12 months based on what you're seeing.
Yeah. So 12 months ago, we do a lot to practice what we preach. We do a lot of educational sessions, we add a lot of value, we create a lot of content to build relationships with a database of realtors that we have so that some of them will eventually become our clients. But we don't hate advertising because it can sometimes work. But 12 months ago was when Facebook gave me a slap in the face, jacked our prices up 4 times, and the advertising funnel that I had been using to help increase my sales stopped working. And I realized that, and this is the same thing that I bet you other tech companies and other real estate agents have experienced, is ad prices are going up and commissions are being squeezed, and that's not a recipe for a good business. And that was some tough news for us when we experienced that. And so we were like, we got to change the way we do sales. We actually have to double down even further on adding value and reaching out to people and going back to the basics, just like we help and teach realtors. And so we changed the way that we do sales in the new year. And because of COVID, we're 100% remote. So our entire team is now across Canada. We got people in British Columbia, we got people in Quebec and the Maritimes and everything in between. We've also, so we've really changed the way we do sales because we had to. We've added a 5x5 program for personal brand building, business coaching, and marketing training. So one of the things that we added for realtors during COVID, when they were all at home, was we know that you guys need to learn some new skills because you got to go digital. We know that that means getting even better at social media and video. And so we created 5 hours a day, 5 days a week of training to help our clients and our community work on their personal brand from home, work on pipeline development from home, work on their business from home. We also launched our CRM this year and our own version of leads. Everyone's got a different definition of leads, but for us, anyone who works with us, when they now get a ParkBench site, they log in and they see a list of all the people who work in the community who are trying to promote their products and services to the community so that we can help realtors reach out to those people, help them go do that, and as a result, earn their business and referrals. We also got invited to this program, which is one of the best things that's happened to us, is to be a part of the REACH program. And we recently just won an award for being a best place to work in Canada. So that's a new one. I don't even know if you know about that one, Mike, but we just got an award for best place to work. I think our employees love our culture, love what we're doing for the industry. Trying to make realtors relevant and respected again versus just being a salesy, cheesy person who puts up ads. And then personally, for those of you that care about the human side of it, I moved from Toronto, from the big city of Toronto to a top 10 powder mountain so I can snowboard and ski a lot. And if you don't know, it's called Big White. And if you don't know what Big White is and you like skiing and snowboarding, you definitely should Google it.
It's on my list, and it's a car drive away, but I still haven't done it yet. So maybe now that you're there, I'll make the trip out. But it's amazing. It's amazing to hear what 12 months has brought, and that's in the face of COVID, right? So I mean, that's really interesting because you guys have not only had to reinvent your sales process because of some outside factors, but you were doing it before a lot of people had to do it for other reasons with being COVID. Yeah. And so, one of the things that I think a lot of people are talking about right now are what are those key trends and what are those things that we need to be sort of watching for? And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, is that like virtualization of elements in the process from the realtor's perspective, from the real estate agent's perspective. Yeah. So I'm curious, in your opinion, maybe like what are the top 3 trends that you guys are seeing at ParkBench from your customers' perspective? And then how are you guys looking to adapt to help them? I mean, you already mentioned the 5x5, which sounds super cool, the training that you guys have done. So maybe if you could elaborate just a touch more on that and where you're seeing things head.
Well, when I look at like the trends, there's some global things happening that are impacting everybody. And so we all got to think about, okay, like there's the COVID bucket. Okay, so how's COVID changed things? Then there's going to be a post-COVID world. We're not there yet. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen and it will not be the same as pre-COVID. Anyone who thinks it is, you're just delusional. It ain't. This is a traumatic event in people's lives. They're not just going to, like, it's so unfortunate that we're going to be holding back as people to hug and shake hands. Like, it's going to be this weird thing that goes through our brain, even when the vaccine and all the stuff is gone. And then somewhere, either before post-COVID or after post-COVID, there's going to be some sort of financial crash. And realtors need to be thinking about how their business should be affected by these 3 big things that are happening. And one of the things I hear a lot, which I'm going to really challenge, and I hope everyone listens to me, because if you or anyone around you is allowing yourself to feel okay for being zoomed out You know that expression? I'm
Oh, yeah.
zoomed out. Okay. You can't. You can't be zoomed out. There's no such thing. You want to be a loser in business? Okay, talk about being zoomed out. Being zoomed out in this new world is like saying, I'm sick and tired of door knocking. I'm sick and tired of calling my database. Yeah, I'm called out. It's a realtor would never say that because that's the cornerstone of your business, to meet new people and talk to your database. And now you gotta love Zoom. Embrace it. Look at the benefits of it. I have clients who are building their database faster because of Zoom, because I can sit at my desk and just start networking over and over and over again. I guarantee you realtors are going to complain that they have to go see people again. They're complaining that they can't go see people. I guarantee you realtors will complain that they have to go see people in the future once they really embrace this digital world that we are now living in. So I tell realtors, first and foremost, like, you got to be 100% digital. You got to embrace Zoom, and you should never be zoomed out. That is,
that's the dirty word.
It's a dirty word. Yeah, yeah. It's like saying you don't like work. Okay, that's just the truth. Okay, and some people are letting people feel like okay about being zoomed out and stuff like that. You can't have that thought. The other thing is along with this digital trend. So this is one trend, digital.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm getting used to some new tools that I'm not used to. No one is. Okay, that, like, we're all learning this, but that's the cool part. We're all learning this together. We're all doing this together, and so there's a huge rapport bonding moment for realtors and people, their homeowners, and their database, because we're all learning how to do Zoom. We're all learning how to do video. We're all learning how to be more online and be more on social media and do more DMing and do more digital stuff. So that's one trend that people are still not embracing enough, and they're not going deep enough into how can I be more digital? How can I leverage all these digital softwares and tools to grow my brand and my business and have a better quality of life? That's number one. The second one I'm seeing is community marketing. So I actually think community marketing is the new social media. Remember social media back in like 2010? Everyone's like, you got to go social media, social media, social media, social media. Everyone's like, oh, come on, really? Like, what's the ROI on social media? Like, do I really got to do this? And now you'd be crazy to say that. Same thing with community marketing. Realtors are now thinking about it. And then some people, when they start thinking about it, they go, the time, the money, is it really going to be worth it? Should I just do what I used to do in the past? And when I say community marketing, I don't mean advertising. I mean finding ways to start conversations, give value, and build relationships with the people who live and work in your community, whatever your community that you're in. Now, something that we're really thinking about a lot is suburbs and small towns are on the rise. Our best clients are in the small towns and suburbs, and they're just rocking it. So I think there's so much real estate opportunity in suburbs and small towns, and second home markets will become first home markets. I think there's going to be I'm an example of, I am an example of someone who went from a Toronto to a second home market, and it's now my home. It's now my future home. So I think community marketing is a trend that we're just starting. How can you help the small businesses? How can you help the local businesses? How can you help the schools? They're all encountering so many challenges in this new world. So how can you contribute? And if you can make people in your area feel like you are coming from a place of contribution, these people will be your raving fans for life. Because we're all going through this really tough time that we're going to remember for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
And realtors who make the time and money investment to step up, they're going to be in the memory for the rest of everyone's life. If you don't step up now, then you're losing this opportunity. COVID's the greatest thing that's ever happened to all of us. It's got a horrible amount of health issues and inconveniences and worldly stuff, and I get all the bad stuff about COVID. But if you now look at all the great stuff that this is doing for us as a society, I think that actually outweighs the negative stuff, because it's pushing us to move to a world where I actually think one of my predictions is social media is going to die.
Interesting.
I think the idea that people go on a platform and stay there fully will die, because that's what all these platforms are trying to do. Facebook, Instagram,
Everybody wants to keep, yeah,
everyone wants to keep you on the platform. Look at the social dilemma. That thing is really probing people's minds, that Netflix movie. And I said this years ago. I said, we are meant to connect with people. We're going to start our connections on Zoom and on the phone and text and DM way more. But we are also wanting to be able to walk down the street to go meet more people. And so how can you contribute to that future? That's number two. So number one I have is more digital. Number two is community. And number three is the basics. Right? Everyone's been shiny object syndrome for many years, and the economy was on such a rise, and the world was just so perfect that you could suck and still do great. Business is really simple, and in all downturns, all of them. You ask any realtor who's been successful in the industry and been in the industry for multiple downturns, you ask them, what got you through the downturn? What got you through the downturn? All of them, without fail, will say, my database and my brand within my database. That's it. It's not some crazy marketing tactic. It's, hey, I continue to find ways to build new relationships, and I found new ways to reconnect with people in my database and give them value, because I know that business nowadays is earned. It's not bought. You can buy it in a good economy through ads. You have to earn it right now. And so realtors need to get back to the basics, and because all the realtors that I talk to who are crushing and having their best years ever, brand, database, that's it.
It's so interesting too, because it all kind of dovetails together, right? You've got this digital first, and everybody has to adopt it, which almost has us seeking even more attention, which goes to your second point of, the community and getting connected with your community being so important, which ultimately is built on the foundation of the basics, right? And so it really does dovetail together, and it's centered around this experience that we're all going through. So,
and that's why it's not like, oh my God, there's so much happening in the world, I got to learn all these new things. It's like, no, it's literally one blueprint, and it's one seamless and fun. Like all this advertising is boring. I've never heard one realtor say, I love advertising. I love thinking of ads. I love chasing down leads. I love creating email marketing campaigns. No one says that. Everyone says, I love genuine connection. I love helping people. I love serving my community.
Yeah. Grant, for people that want to learn more about ParkBench, what's the best way to find and interact with you guys?
Yeah, just go to parkbench.com, and right away you'll see a screen saying pick who you are. Just click realtor and then fill in a form and get a demo and see what we're all about. It's not for everyone. Like, my system is not for every kind of realtor. It takes a certain personality, a certain value set. We want to make sure that we align with the strategy that's already been working for realtors. Unless they're brand new, we work with them too. But if you're thinking about doing more community marketing, if you're thinking about how to build new relationships and add value to the people in your community, I'd like to think we are the best at it in the industry. I don't know of another company that has helped agents do those things better than us for as long as us. And we guarantee it works, or you don't even pay us any money, because we're so confident that it works for the right person. So
and just around, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're interested in seeing if you're the right person, just go to parkbench.com, click on the realtor image, and fill in a form and talk to my team and figure it out.
And worst case scenario, you've got some educational pieces of content for people who are looking to digitize, right? And I'm sure that there's tons of content, right? That I'm sure.
Yeah, so I have another company brand called becomealocalleader.com, because
gotcha. Okay.
Not just real estate agents, mortgage brokers, insurance, title, escrow, like any local service professional. The trend is going to be, how can you get to know more people in your community, give value to them, and focus in a smaller geographic area. I think COVID and traveling and
the world
your safe place, is a trend for so many industries. And so I've created that blog to educate people, even if they don't become a client of ParkBench. This is pure free education, how to build your business in a specific geographic area.
Amazing. And with that, we'll throw that on the comments when we post this up. But with that, thanks so much for coming on the show, Grant, and really appreciate your time.
That's tons of fun. Thanks, Mike.